strong jungle pick of their own, having the Martis on their side with a potential burst damage coming out from the Kadita, Saison might have some problems in the early game.
Yeah, this Fredrin can be disrupted if the rotations and the calls of the Ukrainian squad are on point.
Yeah.
If they know that, if they accept the fact and respect the fact that they have a great pick to disrupt the Fredrin, then they can do that. I like it when you react like this to the drafts. What are these oohs coming out from with that export pick?
We've seen this a lot of times, especially with our own custom games. Like, Xborg has been everywhere, especially in Southeast Asia. And Xborg is one of the rare heroes that you pick specifically to counter both of the two picks that Ukraine just got, like the Martis and the Edith. Sorry, it's the it's the brain fart. So
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Edith
3 a.m. in the
gets
Philippines.
countered by Xborg.
Yeah. And what I also like with them picking up the Xborg is actually when you look at the lineup here of Team Ukraine, it's a lineup that is known for really great, if they're not going to be the ones setting it or starting it, they are punishable in terms of if you cannot get them down fast enough, they will counter you. The Primal Wrath of the Edith, if you can't get her down and you deal a lot of damage but you don't take her down, Primal Wrath will come back to bite you. If you can't take the Martis before you're low and then he starts chaining together the ultimates, he'll come back to bite you. But then you bring in an Xborg into the picture, so now even though they get to the point where they're just on the threshold of going down, but they stay up, the Xborg will be like, no, I'm gonna spin all over you.
Yeah, it's the same story still for for Xborg. Like you want drawn out fights. I also love drawn out fights.
Exactly.
Whenever I fight into long team fights, I stack up my true damage, and you start seeing heroes just fall down because of the sheer damage output that the Xborg can do. But I think one of the fundamental problems of Philippines draft right now is they lack flexibility.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the draft of Ukraine, you cannot tell whether this Edith will go XP or the Kadita will go will go support and go roam. So only the Martis you can tell. But even the Martis sometimes goes XP.
Yeah. You have to watch out for that flexibility. So right now, it's a tale of two drafts. Two drafts that know what they're up against. Answered so far, but in terms of like how the pieces are going to be fitting into the whole picture of the puzzle, well, that is the biggest question. So, Philippines are looking at it, okay, we're going to take away that Paquito earlier, we're going to take away the Franco as well, because the Franco can mess up the entry, especially of that Claude if they want to. And now, the thing is though, there has been a good enough sample size that there are teams, if ever the pieces look good, they might just end up drafting a Leslie or maybe a Brody against that Claude. Because right now, even though it's a Kadita and an Edith, if they don't pick up the Beatrix as that safe range wave clear, the Brody and the Leslie will be able to slot in well enough and really disrupt Raketano's play as that Claude.
Honestly, I love Leslie here. Like, if you're Xborg, you're not gonna have a fantastic time.
Exactly.
Of, fighting into a Leslie because of the range and of course the true damage. Like the Firaga armor will just quickly melt.
Yeah.
But Arcangel, very good choice here if they ever do go for the Valentina because he can get a lot of great stuff like the reset factor from the Decimate. You're going to be able to shred through those small HPs that are going to matter for the Edith and the Martis, but also if you are able to reposition yourself, like if he goes Flicker, he can steal the Karina and possibly set up against the Martis.
Ooh, okay, they're actually going to be hovering over a Clint here, which is interesting to me. But then when you have a dive comp, a Clint is so happy with that. It's like, yeah, I'll just have to watch out for the entry of the Claude, the Xborg, but I mean the Kadita, the Mortis, and then the Edith are going to be messing them up already. I'll have enough space, make the most out of my little bolo dash backwards, and then the poke damage coming in from that Clint, it might get to the point where Team Philippines might not even reach that Clint, and it's going to be a swerve. It's going to be double magic for the mid-rotations.
Double down at the damage, because if the problem earlier on is the lack of burst down, let's double down on Kadita and Navaria. And the one side of Navaria that we haven't been discussing yet is the vision that it provides. Like early game, you shut down the game of Philippines but just by having constant vision and being able to open up the map for the Martis to be able to play, play around with. Because this hero usually just invades jungle, and he loves doing that when he has teammates that can provide the vision or just be with the Martis. But now you look at the options here for the roam roll on the side of Philippines. They're eyeing at the two, the Grok and the Joe. But I want to I want to focus on this clip pick from Ukraine.
online.
I love it because the fact that you mentioned Brody earlier on. I'd always seen Clint like a more chill version of Brody. Like,
Yeah.
you still do the same amount of burst damage. You don't have the crazy torn apart memory
Yeah.
kind of thing, but you are able to play against heroes that wants to go into you because you have that semi-stun with your second skill,
Yeah,
and of
they're
course that small
mobilized.
pocket of damage
Yeah.
from the passive.
Yeah, and Team Philippines know this so well. In their last outing in a major international tournament, they showed off that Clint, and my goodness, the damage of the Clint, once it gets the 2 items locked in, and you're not respecting the damage being dealt out, you're gonna be melting really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's now, I feel like, because of how the draft went, the last pick Grok, the fact that they have a Claude and an X-Borg in their lineup, and they're up against a Novaria, it's now gonna be up to Arcangel to make the most of being able to take away the Astral Echo of the Novaria.
Yeah.
Because the Astral Echo empowers what the other heroes of Team Philippines brings to the table.
Very good composition on both sides. So let's see whoever comes out on top when it comes to execution in this game #1 match between Ukraine and Team Philippines. Already in the cutting the XP wave here for Philippines is Canon and Arcangel getting that level 2 on the Valentina. Of course, Unigo is left in the middle lane to get the level 2 on Grok as well.
Nice little rotation there. You ensure that everyone hits level 2 going into it. The Grok won't have to wait. There's a good chance that by the time you get to the turtle, the Grok is just about to hit level 4 or
Yeah.
is already level 4 because of that little adjustment they did.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty popular thing now going on in terms of the rotations. You send your, right before it used to be we'll send the roam and the EXP
Yeah.
to hit level 2. No, this time we'll send the mid
Yep.
down to the EXP lane.
But it's kind of a modified rotation right now because
Yeah.
if you're the support, you need to take the green camp with
Yeah.
your XP laner. Like, it's a must.
Yeah.
It's a necessity for you guys to take that, just so that you get the bonus XP from the jungle
Yeah.
creeps, so that the last wave before the turtle, you can actually leave the mid wave for the tank for you
Yes.
to get both 4. Before it was just cut XP. Don't even care about green at all. Like, go back to mid lane, poke some heroes here and there. But now it's a must for you to take that green camp, so that when it comes to the turtle wave, like the last wave in the mid lane, for you to get 4, it could be you're gonna be waiting for a bit, like 5 to 10 seconds after the turtle spawns. But you get 4 on both the tank and the mid.
Yeah, so now we're gonna have to watch out here what the adjustment of Team Ukraine will be, so that by the time they get to the first turtle, they're leveled in the levels.
Yeah.
Because if the roamer or just one member of Team Ukraine is only level 3, not even close to getting that ultimate, that's gonna be almost a picture-perfect opportunity for Team Philippines to get that first turtle without a problem. So they need to adjust their rotations. If their little green camp was taken away, they're gonna need to get something else from the Philippines, take away something from the jungle of Saison.
Yeah, and it's very beneficial as well for Philippines to secure level 4s, because again, this Grok is the only catch that they have. Even though you might say that they have a Fredrin, but Fredrin is going to be focused on turtle.
Yeah.
Grok is the only catch that they have. When compared to what the other has, Ukraine has a lot of vision. They have a lot of burst potential from the Kadita, and what they need is just to provide some poke damage for the Maris to be able to have access towards that decimate, where it's a tool that if you're not really careful, like if you're playing against it and then you're not careful, you're just allowing Maris to have this path towards snowballing out of control.
Yeah. So we feel like we've already laid down really well, like what to watch out here for the first few minutes. I know a lot of people are going into this knowing the Philippine team really well, or at least have heard of them. Again, in their last major international outing, was able to reach 3rd place there, and they were favored to go into grand finals, but of course the Indonesian teams were able to get their moment of glory over there in Jakarta, Indonesia. But on the side of Team Ukraine, a lot of names that I will be honest, going into this, had to deep dive, but for a lot of them, very new names. But one name that stands out, the EXP laner Defender.
Yep.
Someone from Ukraine who actually has World Championship experience already in the club level. Again, we are in the World Championship on the country level, but on the club and the teams, he's played in World Championships.
Yeah, he played in M3.
Yeah,
So he has a lot of international experience. He knows what these players make, like how they move and how they rotate in the map. So the experience does matter a lot, and it's funny because he is also an XP laner. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
Really, yeah, he's really living up to it. Like,
Yeah.
he has the experience, I'm going to play
it
experience.
paints a great picture for
Yeah.
the team. Like they're not gonna be messing up a lot of these fundamental aspects in the game,
Yeah.
especially with this early game rotation that we're talking about. That's really critical for teams to establish such good early game control, especially if you have a Martis. Like if this Martis snowballs, Philippines will have themselves a hard time in mid game.
Yeah, and that's something you always have to watch out for when you're up against a Martis. Even though it looks like, you know what, I'm gonna take a fight. That's why you see teams going up against a Martis is either let's get this Martis down quick,
Yeah.
or even if they know at around 40% health that this fight isn't gonna be winnable,
Yeah.
they get on out
Get
of
out.
there. Because that Martis will just be able to punish
Cut your
you.
losses, right?
Yeah, cut your losses. Don't risk it. We've seen it so many times
Stop
in
saving
the past.
people.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it so many times where a Martis will just be like,
Yeah.
you think I'm down, then all of you are just gonna go down one by one.
It's always one kill, one guy tries to save his teammates, double kill, oh, you're low as well, I'm gonna poke you more. Another guy tries to save the teammate,
Triple
third kill, oh, you're low as well, decimate, fourth kill,
Yeah.
and maybe gets a savage.
Yeah, and yeah, that is a possibility. And
I
that's
say
the thing.
maybe, but it happens 40% of the time.
It does. It does. A maniac savages for Martis quite common. And it's funny because a lot of these situations we've talked about, earlier was another hero, now on the Martis, it's something that Team Philippines also did in their last major international outtake. They had one game where they started off with 2 triple kills already in
Yep.
the first 7 minutes. Forsyth on when he was playing on Martis. So Team Philippines knows very well what they're going up against. But again, we talked about Team Ukraine and them being a team that you cannot count out. Again, 2 qualifiers for IESF in a row, for 2 years in a row. They went undefeated. And then after that draft, we're both equally impressed. This is a team that understands the game.
Oh yeah, especially in late game. Like we talked about Claude earlier on for Philippines. Clint late game is no joke as well. Like the new build on Clint, like with the GDS,
Yeah.
Great Dragon Spear, as well as a common DHS build on the late game. Because
Yeah.
a lot of these heroes they will scale up with HPs, but even if you don't, just the sheer damage output of Clint, especially with the crits and of course the the Blade of Despairs, the endless battles, he will be able to pump out so much damage in the late game. And Clint, the very nature of Clint is everything spammable.
Yeah. You can just chain everything together. And because of his really deceptive range, I
Yeah.
feel like it's something that is overlooked with Clint. Everyone looks at the revolver fan like, everyone's looking at that damage. But then the basic attacks that follow after each skill
One
that
pop.
you cast, that little pop, that big crit that comes out, that's what actually gets you. That's what's tricky about Clint. That's what gets everyone eventually.
The
Yeah, the little
that
and then the thing with this ultimate when he throws out the bomb.
that's the thing that hurts, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like it's hard. I've played this matchup before. It's freaking hard to play Fredrin
Yeah.
against Clint.
Yeah, especially if you're one of the, let's say, Visigrok won't be able to find
Oh,
that
yeah.
Clint properly, and you see the Fredrin hand in a pocket. It's like, ow, 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 I can't get to you.
Ouch.
ouch, ouch. Oh, I don't have a flicker.
I dash in, you dash out. I'm stunned.
Guess I'm forced to use my retry just to somehow reach you. So yeah, those are the things you have to watch out for. And man, I'm excited to see this game resume again. These pauses happen because we want to make sure that our athletes have the best possible scenario for them. And,
Yeah. Best environment, basically.
yeah, set them up for success.
We don't want any other factors to
Exactly.
come into play when it comes to playing a very prestigious international tournament like IESF. So we are taking our time to make sure that our players are comfortable. They are able to play at their 100%, basically at best, when playing these games, because these games they do matter, especially for Ukraine. Now they're up against Philippines. It's there's a lot of stories in this game. Like for Ukraine to be able to make sure that they come out on top against Philippines, but also it tells us a story of how the Philippines' dominance has been dissipating for the past few months.
Yeah. All right. So just a bit, we're going to get a word on what's going on, how we're going to be proceeding it. But so far, well, we've seen the action, we've seen the picks, we've talked about it. Hopefully you're doing all right. Wherever you're watching, again, there's a worldwide tournament. You are on the English stream of Iesf. I think Leo set the bar earlier for the intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you're watching. Here, sun's about to rise, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know,
We're almost there.
I'm about to see something that I didn't expect I'll see today.
The sun?
The sun.
Do you rarely see the sun?
I mean, I do, but
Do you see it
it's
enough?
rare for me to see the sun twice.
Yeah, wait, I hear like the Filipino casters calling us. What's up?
Okay. We have
Okay,
the
the
Filipino
Filipino
broadcasters on our
yeah.
left side, so
Yeah,
they're trying to call us right now.
We're bantering. We're bantering.
So we're just trying to make sure that the communication is there
Yeah.
between both broadcasts. But yeah, again, it's rare for us to see the sun twice
Yeah.
in a single day.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that for all the viewers out there, I hope that you are in a very comfortable position right now.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you don't have your snacks, get them now. You know, get some coffee. Get everything like the pillows, the blankets. Make sure that you're comfortable because this series, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah. Speaking of comfortable, I wonder if they'll ever release like MLBB body pillows.
Ooh, that's true.
Okay, maybe not specifically body pillows. Might have been weird coming from me, but you know, just pillows in general. Yeah.
We did have the neck
The
pillows
neck
before,
pillow,
right?
Yeah, your legendary neck.
Yeah,
neck
my
pillow.
legendary neck pillow. We did have some blankets as well.
Oh yeah,
think,
we had a blanket.
I think
for,
that was in
League.
season 8.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did have blankets. We had some, you know, what do you call this, tumblers.
Oh, we did too. Yeah.
So,
It's
what else?
awesome.
What else do we
I
want?
feel like there's a lot of opportunities here. I wonder what
NPL
the
masks.
Yeah, I wonder what the goodies are in back home, back home, but all the way in Romania. We all know that that's where the LAN event is going down.
Yeah, that's true.
Multiple esports titles. Again, this is a multi-esport title worldwide tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's a wide variety of goodies there.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure our very good friend is enjoying himself there.
Yeah, themselves, Joseph and Francis.
I mean, I'm referring to a specific person.
Oh, I see.
A
Yeah.
very specific person
Oh, yeah.
that enjoys goodies very, very much.
Oh yeah.
You know who you are.
the god of merch.
Yeah, the god of merch, the O, the S, and the X.
Yeah. OSX. By the way, you're going to be seeing him and our friend Naisu in action once we go on over to the playoffs main stage. So, hey, if you still find yourselves in the chat and you see our good friend OSX there, just spam on the chat. Okay, maybe not spam it, but just put there. Merch God, merch God, merch God, all right?
Merch god OSX.
And if they ask, that came from Leo. Not us. That came from Leo.
Okay, I had to, you know, I had to clean up my glass.
Oh, is it getting foggy?
Yeah,
It's getting
getting foggy. I'm getting emotional. I don't know why I'm crying.
Hey, come on, man. That's my shtick. I'm the only one who cries.
Yeah,
here.
but
Come
I
on.
hear the draft, Renmar.
Yeah, you hear the
I'm
draft.
hearing the draft.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, we did get word. It seems like because
I got
of
something in my eye. Hold on.
Yeah, there is. Due to circumstances beyond our control, and of course these things happen. We are receiving word that there had to be a remake of the lobby. We're going to be seeing where we're going to be leaving off, if we're going to be starting it off, but it seems like we might get to the point where it will be a full reset.
My
Looks
eye
like-
hurts, dude.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's
It's
fine.
getting red.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's like a suit now.
It's not that bad. But if it gets this red, then that's a problem.
Maybe it's a tears of joy because I just heard, "Welcome to the land of dawn."
Yeah, we're gonna be going in.
Yep.
Here we go.
Here we are, land of dawn. Here we go. Game number 1: Ukraine and Philippines. It is a remake match for these two teams. Nothing really happened on the first match, although XP's on top now.
Yep.
So that is kind of a different scenario, but you know the same cut happens still for Canon and Arcangel, but they will take a different green cap now. However, but Martis decided not to check the green cap.
Yeah, and it's still gonna be the same rotational start as we saw earlier. So, just based off of just adjustments in the map, it's pretty much just like what happened. So everything we've talked about so far, still incredibly applicable. We're
Yeah,
still
I have to say though, like Valentina not getting one green cap, that's gonna affect the level 4s on the turtle. So we have to see how Philippines plays the you know the last turtle wave. I mean the last wave before turtle, because Ukraine is you know they are able to contest that. You have a Martis, you have a Kadita, and you also have an Iesf that can just walk towards the turtle area, throw the Predator away, and Sensei can just burst him down.
Yeah, that's the difference now of the EXP lane on the top side, closer to the purple buff, is that the members of Ukraine actually, mainly the Novaria Zoom, just showing himself up, was enough sign for Philippines to, yeah, let's try not to get the Scaled Lizard anymore. There's a chance we're gonna get punished. Arcangel there trying to cross that little alley, eats up some damage. He's gonna need to go back home yet again.
Very interesting dynamic on the bottom lane. Both of them have quantum charge. So the HP, they are able to regenerate some of that back every, I think 5 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 5 seconds still. So, but still, Clint is, getting the small victories against the Claw because he does have higher damage output versus Rekethiano at the moment.
And right now, with the first turtle up, it is a very neck-and-neck contention. Arcangel, because of what he's received, hasn't hit level 4 yet. Nico just about to hit level 4. Zoom as well. If he's going to get it, Defender's going to be there with a knock-up. Defender
pokes again.
The Primal Wrath is going to be available for him. They want to go for it. They're not hitting the turtle just yet. They're taking their time. That's going to be the flicker and the last Insanity. Turtle goes to the side of Ukraine, but the kill onto Defender from the Philippines. Great space out though by the members of Ukraine to make sure that they get the turn.
Yeah, it is a little bit of overextension from Defender, but I would say it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you give out your life for extra XP that, the Martis can get. He's now sitting at level 6, while Son is still level 4. So this is the early game snowball that we talked about earlier. Yeah. Although the gold lead doesn't really tell that story that much because Ukraine is only leading by 100 gold. But still, this Martis is going to be incredibly farmed in the early stages of the game.
Extremely disciplined play actually by Ukraine. Kudos to them for how they played that first turtle fight. I think that's already a telltale sign for Team Philippines. If they weren't thinking of it yet, we really got to watch out for these guys.
Oh yeah, very objective approach from Ukraine. Let's see how Philippines is going to be able to fight back in mid-game. Ooh, even the Astral Recalls, man, like contesting the grab from Saison. Yeah. Ukraine really does know the current landscape of this meta, which is jungle control, basically.
Yeah, you cannot give free resources. If you have the tools, make sure you try to contest it. That's going to be the Martis getting caught out, though. That's 2v1, make it 3v1, but here comes the members of Team Ukraine for the respawn. Already the ultimate of Katata utilized to get away. With Ego brought really low, they're going to be going after the Grok, already forcing the flicker out. The Grok will be able to get away, but with a major resource expended, Saison will not be able to get the Scale Laser. I believe he was able to, he had to commit the Retribution to secure it.
Arcangel did have the Kanita ult at that moment, but the downside of being a Valentina versus a Kanita is you don't have that Petrify.
Yeah.
So he was not able to burst down, Vladosicute. Wow, there's cuties in Ukraine. Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot. And I think it's the inspiration there of, it's an old naming convention from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, adding that cutie at the end of your name.
I believe Jeff
is
the
Jeff.
first to never get that name.
Yeah, a little bit of Philippine MLBB history for you that has worldwide effects. Let's look at the items right now. The goal difference still very close. It's the Claude and that Clint. In terms of the items, already one locked in there for the Clint. And the Hep to seize. Second turtle already up. Philippines in a much better position, but I like the positioning here of Ukraine.
Ooh, the reset.
Oh, they forced it.
Wow. Very good reset from Philippines. Yeah, Saison was like, okay, just reset the turtle. I'm going to take the turtle block first. I need to get XP. But Ukraine, the answer is, let's press it out.
Look at this zone out by Defender. The entry from the Kanata. All the knockup and the control in the world being tossed out by Ukraine. 2 members of Philippines getting taken out. Defender gets punished, but again, it's a sacrifice he's willing to pay. He will put himself in front of the members of Ukraine, in front of the members of the Philippines and say, take me down. We're getting more for us right out of this.
Very systematic approach coming out from Ukraine. And also, I love the fact that they respond very quick as well. Like, Philippines, they had the right call. Like, you need to reset that turtle. But Ukraine was like, okay, you reset it, we take it.
Yeah.
And after that, Philippines, they were like, okay, guys, we need to fight this one out. There was a little bit of, some hesitation from Philippines, but Ukraine was like 100% committed to turn after that turtle play.
Yeah, that has to be something Philippines is looking at. So far, Defender's been rotating out of his lane willy-nilly, meaning that Defender plays such an important part for the team fighting here, because technically, he's the tank. He is the main frontliner here for Ukraine. So, if ever, they might actually tried to put someone else in the opposite lane to just push a tower down there and fight the turtle, or at least try to lightly contest the turtle 5v4, because one of the members of Team Philippines is split pushing, while Ukraine, of course, are full 5-manning objectives.
Man, this is what you get from international experience, right? Like, defender, he knows that he gets countered by export, does not even care about the lane at all, fast pushes it, and, you know, plays with his teammates. And he is willingly giving his life just to make sure that he does what he needs to do. And what he needs to do in this game, like you said it, he is the tank, but also the setter for this team. Even using Flicker aggressively, just make sure that he gets that pressure onto Philippines, such that Philippines have to respond to the Iesf. And that alleviates the pressure away from the Kadita, the Martis, and even the Clint.
The defender of the Ukrainian dream for MLBB Global Glory. The only man with World Championship experience, now in a World Championship, 4 countries. He is putting on a hell of a performance for Ukraine. Not an impressive stat line, but that is an impressive play. Sensei making Arcangel look like a measly student, and Ukraine gets the 3rd turtle. All turtles of the game going to Ukraine. The systematic play. Wow.
And he's not done yet. The Martis, he goes for more, but they take a tower in the mid lane. Again, we talked about this earlier on. Martis with vision and the burst damage coming out from the Kadita, and the way Defender is playing this game, he is just allowing Ukraine to play what this comp is meant to do. And Philippines, they don't have the answer yet, but Inigo, however, with the wild charge,
it's not going to be able to get enough out of there. A timely flicker out there from Su, making sure he doesn't get caught. It was only the Martis taken low, but because they couldn't get to Smetana, who again, we saw how fast he can melt down the Faraga armor of an X-Borg. Yeah, he's locked in. 2 items already for him, and that is a 1,000 gold difference. At this point, yes, usually when the Claude has the Golden Staff, that's the sign. But because of the lead that Ukraine has was able to build for themselves, now this time, they shouldn't full team fight, or at least we won't feel full power Claude until the 3rd item locked in.
he needs more, man. Like, just the sheer physical damage output from this Clint. He needs like Wind of Nature, probably a you know, a Letter Jerkin, or maybe you know, some defensive item that can actually help him get inside a team fight. Because at the moment he has a lot of problems that he needs to deal with, like the Kadita, the Iesf, and the physical damage from the Clint. Saison, oh my goodness, look at the damage coming out from Sensei.
Can he lock it in? Oh man, the decimation goes all the way there, and that's gonna put the Martis in a difficult position. But look at the damage coming in from Ukraine. Raw damage, yes, that's Saison, and falls down, and the other members of Team Philippines can barely hold on. Almost getting hit by the Astral Recall.
5 pixels. 5 pixels.
5 pixels at most. My goodness, Ukraine playing to the strength of their lineup, knowing that Philippines needs time, needs space, did not give it from the start of the game.
Defender again on this Iesf. He is just allowing so much frontline space for Ukraine to maximize. And Philippines, still, they don't have the answers yet, because Rekiciano, he's still not online. Like, the squad is still not able to fight against the composition of Ukraine.
My goodness, this Iesf. And again, they think about the damage output. They don't have enough. They'll be able to damage the Iesf, but once the Primal Wrath is out, they're going to have to get on out of there. And because of the, again, the Novaria Astral Echoes here by Zoom have been well-timed. Either as an initiation or like, there's times where he's using it mid-team fight just to make sure that Ukraine actually gets those kills and locks it in.
Yeah.
That the members of Team Philippines will not be able to run.
You know, it's another layer of problem for Philippines, because we talk about scaling with Claude. You also have scaling on the side of Ukraine. Like, with Philippines, yes, you do have the Claude, you have the Valentina. These heroes are potent in the late game, but so is Novaria, so is Clint, and so is Kadita. Like, these heroes, they scale with items immensely as well. Like the Kadita, the way she works is all throughout the game. She is gonna be able to burst down a target when she locks them down. The Martis is gonna be able to you know, shred through those little HPs that will be left on the side of you know, of Philippines. Clint has terrifying late game damage, especially with the Blade of Hephaestus and the Endless Battle build, and I'm pretty sure he will build up on the DHS come the late game. but also Navaria, like the long-range nuke that she has with the Astral Recall, that's gonna be a little bit problematic, especially for the export.
Yeah, just how Ukraine has been rotating around this map. Even though when you think of Karita and Navaria together, yes, people usually fear them in the ranked games, but because of the damage.
Yeah.
But there is that window of, oh, if we can just catch them out and then give them a difficult early to mid-game transition, then we're not going to feel them as much. But it just got to the point with how well this trio of the Navaria, the Karita plus the Martyrs going around together, and then add to that defender, again, what you said, he acknowledged, I just need to clear lane, get on out of here, and then rotate to the other parts of the map. Ukraine understood all of their assignments perfectly, that it empowered their gold laner so fast.
Yeah, basically Defender's book looks like clear lane, sacrifice, that's it. That's my job. Tank, set, die, IDC. I don't care.
Yeah, Defender is an absolute unit. The Ukrainian nightmare in tanking.
The
What he's
Ukrainian
doing.
unit, wow.
Yeah, the Ukrainian unit, the Ukrainian nightmare tanking. This is what we're talking about. It'll get to the point where it's just going to be this 5 versus 4 for an objective because Mecatano and on that Claude is just pushing down. And he's going to be continuing it. And it's going to be forcing Defender back. It looks like the members of Team Philippines will they be able to read the situation? No, they will not. A good amount of damage already getting dished out onto that turret. He's not going to be able to break it, but that's what Ukraine needs to watch out for here. The macro game that the Philippines team has, but they got the Lord. That's good news for Ukraine.
Yeah, this is fantastic coming out from both teams. Like, both of them did the right thing. Ukraine did not overreact to the Cloud, while Philippines split pushed with the Cloud. Because at that moment, you had no capabilities of contesting that Lord away from Ukraine. So it was a 50-50 trade. Although, macro-wise, Ukraine does still win out when it comes to objective because they did just get the Lord. And this is a Lord that they can use to actually clear up the map, like take towers, the remaining tower in the top lane, and possibly crack the base of Philippines.
Yeah, you're going to be incredibly scrappy here around the mid as the members of Team Philippines are trying to hold that. Oh, that's going to be a lockdown onto the Karita. A punish there. Well timed by Philippines, but the members of Ukraine are hell-bent on making sure that they get a tower here. Mid will not fall, but they still have things on top. Saison goes in a little bit too greedy, but an entry coming from the Philippines, the follow-up. Blazing duet, only taking down Smetana, so that is a 2v1 trade. No turrets broken down just yet. Last Insanity. Valentino makes it 2-for-2, so that is even Steven saw throughout, but that is relative win for the Philippines. No towers broken just yet, but Ukraine got kills.
Dude, this is why people keep saying that when Philippines play Fredrin, it's Psycho Fredrin. Saison going outside the base. Smetana was like, wait, is this real? What? Is this real life? He got hit by the Appraiser's Wrath, and that was enough. Even though they did kill Saison, Regisiano was like, thanks for the setup.
Yeah, the follow-up. It looked too greedy for my in the initial entry, but then once he got that ultimate down, that was a sign for Regisiano to go in with the blazing duet. So it seemed like it was all part of the plan. Initially, it just looked like Saison grasping at straws, trying to make a play, but Philippines followed it up so well.
It was a very calculated play coming out from Philippines. I wonder who made the call for that, because it was crazy, honestly, but these things, if you're able to pull it off, it's gonna, it's gonna make the game turn on its table.
Yeah, look how close already the gold gap is. That used to be a bit closer to 5K, now it's getting closer to 2. But Ukraine right now, again, their positioning is so great with how they're going around the map. Zoom and Sensei now have tabs on Onigo. Philippines are backing up their Grok.
They're closing out Vision and the map control away from the Philippines. Now only X4 and Fredin is able to play on the opposite side of the map. But Ukraine, they don't really care because they're just clearing waves there. But the conceal play is going to come out from Philippines.
They're going to burst down the Edith, but the entry from Sensei, a massive combo. Blazing duet, he's holding on for
Regisiano!
The lifesteal is enough for him to hold on. Here comes the Martyrs from the mid lane, though. He's going to be looming around. He's not going to get any closer. Smetana goes forward with a flicker, and Zoom is here to back up. Saison and Canona, they're going to go after. They're not going to bite the bait. So it's a 2v1 trade. Philippines are going to be happy with that, but Ukraine, they are not they're making sure that the Philippines won't win something that's just without anything. They're trading at the least.
This is how you break a order, right? You play chaotic. You break the system. Ukraine wants to fight around the objective. Let's fight before the objective. Ukraine was like, wait, is this real part 2? Is this really happening?
Oh, look at this. This used to be really scrappy. Mkhitaryan was spotted in the bottom lane with a sentry. He's now going to be going on over closer to the Lord.
20k HP.
20k HP. What's the usual reset or goal timer on 15, 12k?
Yeah, 15-12k.
Yeah, around that. Vision provided massive. Astral Echo here by Zoom.
Fender trying to catch Onigo here, but it's a Grok, so it's going to be hard to do that. But Lord is going to get 8k HP right now. Conceal play from Onigo. No wild charge, however. Sensei is forced to go away. But Philippines, they're taking it slowly. They're allowing the waves to push. Both side lanes are being pushed now. They're not damaging the Lord, and they're eyeing for a good turn on the team fight.
Oh, a massive knock-up and a massive crowd control coming in from the Martins as well. And straight to the backline, Arcangel with the blazing to win. The Lord is going to go to Ukraine, but the Clint falls. The Valentina falls as well for the Philippines. A double kill for the Claude. Ukraine loses 2, but they get the Lord. Will they have enough room in the map? Enough minions to finally break this mid lane turret, or will Ukraine be able to hold on to it? This has been a wall and a thorn in the side of the Philippines that they have not been able to break the mid turret. As we look at the items right now, you see just how close it is and how well Philippines was able to make their way into a much closer fight.
That was basically a Lord gamble by Philippines. Ukraine still was able to take it away from PH, but they did just take down Clint at that moment. So they're not going to be able to utilize this Lord for the base push. So I would say in the long run, PH should have W.
All right, a win for the W, but can they get more out of it? Oh, Grace still comfortable with their fighting. Oh,
too deep for the Mortis.
Too deep. Oh, Zoom with all the info in the world. Look at the Kadita on the map. He is in perfect gank position if he can find the target. The Philippines are wary. It's on Sensei. That is going to be a reset. We might be down to a big 5v5 for the next Lord.
That was a little scary, honestly.
Yeah, it was for Vlad Security.
There were only 2 heroes there. If Onigo had collected the information beforehand, we would have made a call to just, use wild charge against Amartis. If the Navaria shows, he dies to Regisiano.
Yeah.
But again, Philippines, they're playing this very disciplined, in a very systematic and fundamental order. But I would say just break it. You've been doing it for the past 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
It's Philippines' time to kind of shake the game up, make movements that Ukraine is not going to be able to predict, make crazy moves, like what Saison did earlier. Because these moves, they're working at the moment.
Yeah, that's what initiated their comeback. And then now, because of the Team Philippines, rightfully so, respecting the, as you mentioned, the systematic and the systematic approach and discipline of the Ukrainian squad as well, they're also thinking, okay, we have to mirror that. But then now, I love how you put it, it'll just boil down to who's going to go for the crazy move first.
Yeah.
Will it be Ukraine going, all right, you know what, we can get a little bit, get rid of a little bit of the system, let's go crazy. That's what Saison did. Or at some point, Team Philippines is going to think the same thing. I just hope everyone goes crazy.
Yeah.
And we see
Good team fights.
absolute chaos.
Yeah, again, we go down to mechanics.
Yeah, mechanics.
At best, like how you execute your spells, how you choose your targets. But at the end of the day, whoever deals more damage, I would say, and whoever is able to dish out the needed damage to take out the right targets is gonna win the team fight. And I think still Ukraine has that on their side because of the Kadita. Just the mere presence of this Kadita. He is a threat against the Claude because Claude is gotta be careful with the Purify. And also the fact of the matter is, if he takes out Arcangel, that's already 50% of your damage, and it's just gonna be Claude versus Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the Kadita. Let's talk about Sensei here. His man marking all throughout the game as a Kadita. His positioning, how he enters, when he enters, and where he enters from. That is top global Kadita performances.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not sure if he is a top global Kadita, but I will not be surprised if he is. How he's entering all throughout. It's great.
One of the few players, no pun intended, okay. One of the few players to ever kill Arcangel on a Kadita.
Yeah.
Because Arcangel knows the Kadita spots. And he knows how to react against a Kadita jump, against a Kadita initiation. But, the Kadita was like, I don't care, man. You die, you die. Basically, that's it.
Ah, Sensei and Zoom. This Kadita Novaria combo. Get into the action. Have to watch out for it. When at every skirmish or every little team fight that breaks out, you have to watch out for the gang off of the Kadita.
This game is so close, man. Like 9-9 kill score. Both teams, the goal difference is just 100.
Yeah. It's just a trade of like who's
Oh,
beating
Philippines!
better. Oh, that's gonna be all the vision in the world. Vladosik coming up from the back, but because of all the vision provided, Philippines said, yeah, no, we cannot.
Talk about crazy players, like 5-man conceal, going to that spot. Martis was like, hey, I'm also doing my own crazy thing. I'm making a sandwich play. But again, they both react very, very nicely, and we go back to reset. It's all about positioning and vision right now, which is why still Ukraine is in a much better position because of the ultimate coming out from the Novaria.
A high IQ match is what we're getting for this game number 1. The undefeated 2 qualifier years in a row. They did not drop a single game. Ukraine going into this, going up against the titans of MLBB Esports and Team Philippines, and they are giving Team Philippines a run for their money after a difficult early to mid. Team PH was able to find a way to keep it this close now.
Yep.
This could be anyone's game. It boils down to the little things.
Do take note, Philippines, they're not experimenting. These are very countable heroes for them. These are signature picks
Yes.
from the players on the side of Philippines. So Ukraine is really holding their right in front of these esports giants in the form of Seaboy. Now we're gonna see a lower dance between both teams. Canon and Saison is already in position. Rikishiano, however, is setting up for a split push.
Yeah, coverage there onto the bottom lane. And as these two teams hold us at the edge of our seats, we can only but wait. Oh, the tension is killing me. It is palpable.
Yeah. Man, it's a very, very tight match.
Yeah.
And again, they both had fantastic drafts. Like the composition, they were able to do what they're meant to do. Philippines, although early game, they were not able to play that much. It's because of the nature of their composition. It comes online mid-game. And they're not able to fight into the composition of Ukraine. But that crazy play from Saison allowed them to bounce back and play what they're supposed to do in the late game. And now it's, you said it earlier, it's about the IQ. Whoever calls the shots better and executes it better wins the entire game.
People are probably going to be looking at me when I say this and say, no, you didn't. But honestly, going into this, I knew this was going to be close. I did not count the Team Ukraine out, knowing what they went through for 2 years now.
Yeah.
The absolute, my goodness, the warpath that they went on every qualifier to get it to this point. I am not surprised.
I have screenshots.
Yeah, you
Like,
have screenshots. Yeah.
Renmar was really oozing
Yeah.
at the success of Ukraine for the past few months.
Man, so now that we are at this point, I'm not surprised. I am just enjoying the ride right now.
This is Ukraine.
Yeah, this is a low kill score game, but how this entire game has moved, all the little gears shifting around, those little movements and decisions. My goodness.
But the thing is, these are the types of games when you actually see and enjoy the high-level mechanics and macro fundamentals of these teams. It's a low kill scoring game, but for a reason.
Yeah.
Because Ukraine, they were not crazy in the mid-game. They were not so crazy that they just wanted kills. They wanted to play around objectives. And the only reason why Philippines was able to get some kills of their own is because they kind of strayed away from the whole game plan of Ukraine. They were like, okay, this is what you're thinking. What about we do this? And Ukraine was like, did not think of that.
Yeah. I'm going to let you on a little trade secret for analysts. I know there's a good amount of us who actually watch games multiple times to really understand the team. But there's two approaches. You either, there will be one time where you will watch an entire game just looking at the map. And the times you look at in-game is just for maybe a team fight.
Yeah.
But majority is you're studying rotations. And then the other one is you're really just looking at the game. You're ignoring the map. You're looking at the little movements that you might have missed out just watching the map. This is those type of games that you'd want to go back and rewatch it. First, studying the map. And now you've already watched it as the game, like normally. Because, again, what these two teams did, the early to mid approach of Ukraine to get that lead, how they moved around their map. Their Novaria, their Kadita, and their the Iesf defender, as well as their Martes to really empower their gold laner so that he knows that, okay, all I need to do is farm, survive, not get solo killed here, then I'll be fine here. It's a work of art, and I'm not, that isn't an exaggeration, it's artful.
Basically it. And the way you view the game, it's all about map. And when you look at the players, it's all about the nuanced movements. And speaking about nuanced movements, Philippines just found a kill on the Clint.
That wasn't nuance. That was massive. Philippines
Sensei?
painted themselves a good-looking picture into success. Sensei, do they know the Kadita is there? Rico showed up. Unico showed himself, and now Philippines still close, but they can still go. The Sensei goes out a little bit too early. A retry battle, one for the ages, won by the Martis. But the Martis will get punished in turn. Unico is zoning out Zoom and Defender. The Martis still alive, holding on for dear life, holding on with every last inch of health he has left. Can he somehow outplay two members of Team Philippines chasing him as you see it on the map? We talked about the game, we talked about the map, and we talked about this Martis getting taken out. But the buy time was massive. There's a Lord marching in the bot, and all the Philippines could get out of that was 3 kills and only 1 measly turret in mid.
Yep, they cannot even take objectives at the moment. Now Rekishanu has to deal with that Lord while Ukraine resets. Although they don't have the Martis for 30, it's good right now because, again, it's complete reset between these two teams. You have to wait for round 3.
Round 3. Vladosi Cutie being able to buy time, survive long enough.
One charge!
Hell already has the ultimate of the Eden, but that's going to be defended with a full stack Primal Wrath and knock up the damage! It's going to be enough to take it down, but that's only the immortality. Already popped, Defender can only hold on and he gets taken out.
This is the crazy stuff that we were looking for earlier on. Ukraine might have been eyeing for a reset. Philippines was like, hell no, you don't have Martis. We're gonna fight now.
A brilliant maneuver by Arcangel. He got the Primal Wrath, got out of the mech, but he knows it's barely gonna do anything. He doesn't have the Primal Wrath meter. So you can actually quickly go back to mech form while still having it, and then he used it for the knockup.
Saison?
Saison gets a lot of damage from Sensei though. A good pick, Unico with the flicker, wild charge! My, oh my, what an absolute dream! Double kill there for the Claude, and just like that, you talked about crazy maneuvers. That is a crazy play by Unico.
This is late game dominance by Philippines, having that control, not allowing Ukraine to get a respawn in as they take game number 1 away from Ukraine.
Oh, what an absolute worldie. And I'm not talking about the new name for Bruno's ultimate. What a game. What a showing by these two teams. Midnight, you set it up for the longest time. One crazy play. It was two. Two crazy calls to turn it around on Team Ukraine, who fought tooth and nail to build a lead. But then again, it was a breaking away from the system that found Philippines winning game number 1. What a showing by these two.
Even us, we weren't prepared. You were still explaining how Arcangel was able to find the right opportunity when he saw the Edith, and when he was like, stop talking, I have targets here.
Wow.
4-man wild charge, and Rekishanu was like, okay, I'll jump in as well. Pop the Wind of Nature. As early as that, when he jumped in, he was already wind chanted. And Clint was like, okay, game's done.
What am I gonna do?
Clint's gonna do in a cowboy, cowboy accent.
I think I can do it.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry, folks, there's not much I can do here. Guess I'm out for the count. Let's get them back on the next one.
I shoot my shot and missed.
Shot my shot and missed. He has multiple shots. Faster attack speed.
Everything missed.
Wow, such a tremendous game there. That again for Philippines to claw back.
Yep.
But Ukraine, we talked about them. We set them up. Watch out for this team. The series isn't over just yet.
Yep.
This is going to be competitive down to the final moment. What a great way to start off the second to the last. Oh, wait. The third series of the day.
Yeah. Second to the last.
Second to the, oh, I'm right.
That's
I'm
correct.
right.
And folks, what is correct is game number 1 was a comeback for Philippines. The term is comeback. Ukraine did have game number 1 on the bag, but Philippines was like, hell no. we're going to be able to find the crazy plays that we need for us to claw back and get the victory, the W on game number 1. Question is, will that be the same story for game number 2? Or will it be different? Will Ukraine finally, finish the job, the task, and get a victory on game number 2? Or this time, will Philippines take control in the early game for game number 2?
All right, so let's update the painting that we were talking about here. So Team Ukraine, undefeated in last year's qualifiers for the 2022 IESF due to
No single game.
not a single game drop. Due to circumstances beyond our control, they weren't able to join the rest of the other teams in Bali. Now here they are again, not dropping the same single game in the qualifiers. Now, this is their first taste of defeat in IESF. And it's in the group stage. That's against Philippines. And it's after a tremendous early to mid-game showing here, controlling majority of the game. At this point, as someone with coaching experience, prior coaching experience, does the mental factor kick in immediately?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with a loss like that, like you had that game in the bag. The thing that you need to do for game number 2 is delete game number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, not delete, just get some data here and there.
Yeah.
Probably download the notepad, list down the mistakes.
Yeah.
Everything else you delete.
Yeah, bring out the spreadsheet.
The emotional factor you delete. The emotional damage you delete.
Yeah. Now, emotional damage is hard to delete, though. Not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
difficult. But I got you.
but you
You
get
got
the
it.
task, right?
Yeah, they're professional athletes.
It's on the notepad.
Yeah, the cream of the crop. It's probably already there in their
Yeah.
prior notes in their prior meeting. You gotta chill, guys.
Yeah, gotta chill. It's part of the the guidelines.
Yeah.
Remove emotion. It's not 100% possible, but try your best.
Yeah.
Just for game number 2, because game number 2 is really important for Ukraine. Even if they win, the issue of losing game number 1 is even if you win, there is that pressure of keeping that momentum. Because Philippines, they are now in a spot where even if they lose game number 2, their mentality is gonna be strong. Like, hey, we almost lost game 1, we lost game 2, but we can bounce back on game number 3.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm already excited for game 2 and maybe even a potential game number 3. Again, very surprising. What we've seen from Ukraine. Honestly, I'm salivating. Maybe it's because it's almost the sun's about to rise. Maybe I'm lacking water. I don't know, but I am salivating for more action.
Yeah, more MLBB, more of those crazy plays that we saw earlier, because it is what ended that game. Like Unigo with a wild charge. I don't even know how he found that.
Yeah, dude.
It was off vision.
I think it was just like, hey, there's like a dude who just went into that bush, and I think there was also another member of Team Philippines who also saw,
Yeah.
like, hey, there's also another one there. I feel like there's 3 or 4 of them in there.
Philippines was like, okay, for the last 3 seconds, we haven't found anyone. Just that guy alone
Yeah.
that went inside of the bush. Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe he's
There's a
here.
hypothetical situation wherein if I do this, I hit 3 to 4. Worst case scenario, I hit that guy who just went in.
Yeah, that's still
Worst
gonna
case
be
scenario.
something. Yeah. Worst case scenario.
Well, let's see if we are going to be witnessing the worst scenario here for Ukraine, or we're going to see a bounce back for this team, as we're in a very, very good series right now. Again, this is Philippines versus Ukraine for game number 2. We're going to be heading towards a short break, so don't go away. Away! IESF 2023 will be back.